Welcome in everybody to Running the Riffs coverage of the North American Challenger League 2024 Spring Qualifier 1. We're in the closed qualifier portion now. We're even in the elimination stages. My name is Yanni. I'm joined here by Thousand Eyes. Thousand Eyes, we have one of, if not the best, elimination game on our hands here. Team Fish Taco versus CCG. Win or go home.
Yeah, and both these teams wanted to come in and win the whole thing. They were feeling confident. So to be in this position alone is already very terrifying for both sides, I'm sure. And with the fact that one of them is just going to be done after this is probably just, it has to feel very unfortunate if you lose this.
Yeah, I mean, again, as you mentioned, these teams constructed to potentially win it all, right? And the qualifier points you're going to lose out on by not getting the job done here could be very detrimental to the team moving forward. Getting through the picks and bans here, it's going to be a first pick lock in for Callista here for Team Fish Taco. Haven't seen that one picked up for Levitate yet, so I am pretty interested to see how that's going to work out. You see a little bit of the picks and bans here. A couple of 80 carries taken by the wayside, supports mostly on the side for CCG, and they can respond with whatever duo they want.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of makes sense. So Callista is one that Red has played, so they may be trying to take that away, expecting that to be prioritized in some way, shape, or form. The support bans make a lot of sense when you consider the fact that Snow is much more of an enchanter player versus Trevor on the other side, who plays the engaged champions, or at the very least, something a little bit more aggressive in that sense. The response of the Renata, or sorry, not the, yes, the Renata, as my brain mixes up, the Renata and the Aphelios. So trading off that early game pressure for some late game power, and that response with the Renata ultimate just into the Callista alone is a really powerful ult.
Yeah, this is really a perfect 1-2 on the side of CCG, right? You get yourself a strong combo, although not the strongest of those two champions, but you also get to break up Callista and whatever support that you want to go with. On the other side, it's going to be a Rumble lock-in, and Rumble has been one of the strongest top laners in the
Yep.
game for quite some time now. They're going to double it up with an Orianna as well, so clearly looking for some team fight prowess here. Team Fish Taco, I like what they're putting together.
Yeah, and the Orianna is another one that's just a really strong blind pick. It's interesting to see both of the solo laners get locked in the first round here. Usually you're taking your support and your jungler at this point, but with that, that's going to switch up the draft a lot because now you're seeing Flocon getting the Akali here, which now means you don't have to ban mid laners. You can ban more supports if you're CCG. You can ban other junglers. There's a lot more chances to switch things up in ways that you don't normally see in these kinds of drafts. As we're seeing more supports getting taken off the board, that is the Blitzcrank that's going to be gone as well.
I must admit, I'm a little surprised by that. Limo has not played Jarvan, but I feel like Jarvan would be a fantastic pickup for Team Fish Taco here, right? You get the hot pot combo, you get the Ori ball combo, and on top of that, Red won't have anywhere to go because he doesn't have an escape tool other than that flash.
Mhm.
We are going to see Rel get taken away, so they are going to get rid of that super flex there in the jungle or the bot lane. So that does leave this Jarvan potentially on the table for Team Fish Taco. We'll have to see what this final ban is. It is going to be Yone, so take that away from Crimson over on the top lane here. We'll see what the response is for CCG.
Yeah, they'll want to try and get something, I think, for their top lane to get prio. So there's a weird position that CCG are in right now, in that they're going to have a rumble up on the top side that is going to push in almost everything. We'll get to that one in a second. You've got the Oriana that's going to push the Akali in, and then Callista and whatever support they pick generally is going to be able to push in against Aphelios and Renata, at least in the first couple waves. But we have the Ribbon lock in, and that is an all-in lane if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's the Crimson special, right? You know, he is the third of the triumvirate of brothers with Viper and Sniper, as everybody already knows, and I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing about. But listen, he plays a damn good Riven. Definitely takes that champion runs in the family. You're going to see Team Fish Taco go in for a Nautilus here. So going to have that point and click to be able to try and lock down that Aphelios is cycling through a lot of junglers, but they will settle on Nocturne, another champion that can really bear down on this Aphelios and cause bad times to be had.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I'm already looking at CCG, and top lane just really has to go well. Riven is a champion that in a competitive setting has to snowball to be relevant. It is very difficult to come back into a game when you are behind as the Riven. And Rumble, he usually does well in a lot of current matchups. And he also kind of scales fine too. If you hit the equalizer, you're okay. So I'm looking at this draft overall, and I'm still feeling pretty okay for Team Fish Taco. I think CCG, they have to find some crack in the armor to really punish here with that Akali, with that Riven. Maybe, have some good picks set up with the Sejuani ults as well. That has to be the game plan for CCG. Team Fish Taco feels like they've got a lot more standard, solid composition just built in their team from the get go.
Yeah, so it is going to be pretty fun to watch the sparks fly in this game. CCG versus Team Fish Taco, a best of 3. Loser goes home, winner moves on. We're going to catch you back on the Rift in just a few moments. All right, everybody, we are on to Summoner's Rift. Game 1, Team Fish Taco versus CCG. Ziani and Thousand Eyes still giving you all the action as we were in Champion Select. And a couple things we didn't get to touch on, Thousand Eyes. Exhaust for this top lane Rumble, and also the Sejuani paired with the double melee solo laners into triple melees on the other side.
Yeah, and I think Hoarder is kind of just realizing, I don't need to win this lane. I just need to not let Riven get fed. Kind of what we said when we were in the draft there. If Riven doesn't pop off, Riven does not become relevant. So that is just all about, we need to stay alive. TP, great, but if I'm dying and having to TP back to lane, we're already in a really rough spot. The Sejuani, like you said, can be really powerful, can make these ganks really difficult, especially for Hoarder specifically, because it is such a long lane and Riven can set that up really well. The Akali, on the other hand, it's going to be better in the team fights where you're trying to hit those passive autos to help stack that Sejuani and get things going from there. But should be interesting because Sejuani's going to look to mirror Nocturne right now and hopefully get a little bit of pressure onto him.
See if we end up seeing some fireworks occur on the top side of the map in just a little bit. And you mentioned, top side Crimson wanting to go for solo kills, taking that ignite. These really young laners on the side of CCG are looking to get their time in the sun, get their shine. You can see some small trading on the bottom side, but not too much is happening overall. But again, it's Crimson, it's Flocon. These are really, really young players that CCG is relying on. Players that you would think are maybe part of development, but no, CCG is in win now mode. These young players are hungry and ready to go. So I'm excited to see what they're going to bring to the table this game when the pressure is on.
It's crazy to go win now mode and say, you know what, Riven. That's what we need to lock in right now. That's pretty crazy, and I have a lot of respect for that. I worry they may kick themselves if they end up not doing well with that, but I at least respect the gumption.
Yeah, and it's going to be a tough lane for Flocon mid too. You saw he was just taking a lot of damage. Sure, he's even up on CS generally, but Orianna can do a ton of damage to Akali early, and Flocon's not able to dodge out on these QWs. It is going to be a very, very rough time as junglers have made it up to the top side. And just a hair faster is the Sejuani right now. So Crimson wisely going to move in here, try to get some vision down, potentially a ward down. He sees, hey, this blue buff is still up. This guy's going to be up here. Expect the gank.
Yeah, and Nocturne's not going to be too much of a threat in terms of the ganks. If that is a 2v2 situation, that is one I'm always taking the Sejuani Riven in. So I think really Lima is just going to look to farm, hit that level 6 point, and at that point, paranoia is super important. The thing that always comes up with Nocturnes is the first ult is a very big tempo setter. if you don't get anything off of that, Limo can run the risk of falling behind, and you get that same kind of risk that we're looking at with Crimson, where you're not super relevant. I don't know if Hoarder could see that. I don't know if that's a spectate thing, or if Hoarder could see the Sejuani passive start to come into effect there.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess we're going to find out real soon. Full engage is on, but Crimson forced to flash away. Vacant, though, could be the one in trouble. Limo is here, fears him up, and that'll be first blood going over to Hoarder.
Over aggression there. Crimson a little bit too hard right into that overcharged flamethrower, and then Limo in there for the backup as well. Does end up with Sejuani going down, but Crimson does get out crucially. Now bot lane getting action.
Yeah, Red has to flash away, has lost his cleanse, and meanwhile on the top side, they dive Crimson and take him out. Flash back to the bot lane, Levitate is low, but Trevor burns away. He goes down, couldn't bail himself out. As Team Fish Taco is winning all over the map, but Hoarder will get shut down by Vacant.
Yeah, crazy turn of events there. Seeing the Riven die, seeing bot side, who I thought was safe, end up falling as well. Everything going Team Fish Taco's way, and that's really important for them because the early game needed to go well for CCG.
Yeah, but it could be turned around here. Sudsy forced to flash out. Do they have enough to take him down? It looks like they should, and they do. Kills in the bot lane, kills in the top lane. Somehow, some way, CCG fire back with a couple of their own. But here comes Trevor looking to stop Levitate, who's low on mana. I don't think that Trevor's gonna be able to get a kill here. He's certainly hitting him with the auto attacks. He lands the handshake, pulls him in. You gotta auto one more time, Trevor. Come on, Trevor, the fadeaway. He gets the job done.
That makes me happy. As a support player, nothing makes me happier than seeing a Renato walk down somebody with the autos there. A Callista, of all things, as well. So that we're eight kills under 6 minutes. We're over a kill a minute. Things are crazy hectic. You're going to be getting a lot of work on your voice there, Yanni, this game.
Hey, listen, I am more than happy to have that. And you know, I thought for a minute this game was going to be kind of slow because it started out a little sluggish. We were going to see what happened in that top lane, and once that top lane gank occurred, it just everything exploded like you know, I don't know, when you put something hot on, like, you know, a frozen windshield in the wintertime and it just shatters. Like, this is exactly how the game states happened.
Yeah, it's a little janky because you would have thought, like, if it's crazy early game, that should be like almost assuredly the top side going crazy for CCG, but the fact that it's all over the map, the fact that Rumble's winning on that top side, it's kind of worrying. Team Fish Taco getting a lead early. I think we go into the mid game here, unless one of these solo lane threats gets really strong. I think it just gets harder and harder for CCG. Team Fish Taco, they've got a really solid team fight front to back setup. The ults are super crucial, and we're already hitting that point where level 6s are being hit.
Yeah, you saw the Void Grubs getting picked up by Limo by virtue of the strength they have up on the top side. The response is going to be this Hextech Drake taken by the side of CCG. And, you know, Thousand Eyes, I'm not sure if you watched the first time they met in round 1 of GSL groups. It was a crazy best of 3, and game 1 was such a close game. It was back and forth for a long time. I have a feeling we'll see that here. Wokon gets killed on the Sudsy, but now in the bot lane, they're looking for the full engagement on top of Red. He's got nowhere to go. You can't bail him out, Trevor. He goes down.
Yeah, first Paranoia successful for Limo, and again, tempo setting. All this time, we've been seeing Nocturne actually be relevant before 6. Now hits level 6, immediately gets the kill on the really unmovable Aphelios there. It's very, very hard to get him out of bad situations, and like you said, bailout is not really enough. Usually Aphelios really wants somebody a little bit more protective to help him out, and can't really stop a Paranoia with a handshake from the Renata.
Yeah, and this is a consequence of deciding, hey, we're going to take away the Renata from the Callista, right? Snow 2 was allowed to pick this Nautilus, allowed to, get that CC down. He's not even level 6 yet, right? So he hasn't even hit him with the point and click knockup. And, Limo can dive right onto your carry that has low mobility. Guess what? He's gonna die most of the time. So that is certainly something for CCG to watch out for, is starting to crest slowly to the 10-minute mark. But Tess, it feels like this game has been a lot longer than that, in my opinion, because
I've been here 20 years.
Kills.
Yeah, it's never ending. We're gonna go down to another lane, and there's gonna be action happening, and I'm gonna watch the entire map. There's gonna be an ace at, I'm sure, 12 minutes or something like that. Things are hectic, crazy all over the place. It's also important to note too, there is the grubs that were picked up for Limo, Dragon for CCG.
Oh my! He went right over a ward. Crimson and Vacant snuffed that one out. And Vacant gonna flash over the wall, try to get onto Hoarder. He took a tower shot, but it looks like CCG will back off. So nice play there from CCG, getting on top of Limo's over-aggression.
Yeah, a little bit too far forward. I think thinking they could do the same thing again. Well, this time you've got the ultimates, the Sejuani ult with the Riven flying over the top as well. A good Rumble ultimate to at least deter a further aggressive move, but it is still Limo going down. And with that, that is going to be a little bit more pressure for this Riven here, who has been just absolutely pushed off of waves. A very crucial bit of help, because 71 to 34 is not what you want to see.
Yeah, he looks like Squidward in the one episode where he's like, spare change, spare change. Got less than 40 CS right now. Has no summoners as well. Compared to, look at the items that we're seeing on Hoarder. And look at that gold gap. It's 1,300. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of problems on the top side, and they could potentially squeeze them if they want. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, we're going to see an engagement onto Flowcon. It's a bit of a split fight. They're going to try to catch out the Nautilus, but they pulls him in. It looks like he will be A-okay as Team Fish Taco will disengage.
Yeah, a weird fight that just split off in two different directions. Nocturne chasing down the Akali, can't really get anything from that, and Renata ult will stop anything in the other side. So it is just going to be a disengage, but important ultimates down. We have a minute left for this next dragon. Some of these important ults may not be back up. Specifically, that Renata ult may not be ready in time, as with that, timer for Grubs is ready to go. Important to note that while Grubs and Dragons spawn at the same time for the first wave, Grubs do happen first on the second time, which does kind of shift your timers a bit.
CCG is looking to snuff this one out. Vacant and Crimson are there. Flowcon is very low, though, so he's going to run right into Limo. Sudsy had teleported back mid. There could be an opportunity for Team Fish Taco to make a play. They do have the health bars. They will get shoved off of that last grub, but ultimately you get 5 grubs. You are in pretty good shape. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, that point-and-click knockup going down on Red. He drops the ultimate onto Levitate and double rooted up. We'll see if Levitate is able to do much. Red is low on mana. Flash root on the auto attack, and Levitate's hopping around. It's time. Can he drop the E on him? He does, but can he get away? Red is going to get bailed out and able to take down the Callista.
Finally, we see why the Renato's picked up, but topside also a little bit funky.
Oh, they turn the lights out. Oh no, the equalizer misses, but I don't think it's going to matter too much, because they are going to be able to pick up the kill onto the top laner. Meanwhile, Vacant is getting chased down. It's a double kill for Hoarder. Complete disaster on the top side for CCG.
And I think your point there makes it even more poignant there. How bad would that have been if the equalizer didn't miss? You just threw the ult into the ether and it still didn't matter. It was a dominating victory on the top side for the Rumble. What does Riven do for the rest of this game? Because the whole thing that she's going to want to do is try to 1v1. Can't even 1v1 your own lane at this point. Riven doesn't feel like she has a purpose in this comp.
I'm not sure if Crimson can 1v1 a ham sandwich right now. 1 and 2, 47 CS. Remember the point I made earlier. They were at 39 up to like 47. It's just not good. Snow and the rest of Team Fish Taco looking to push in to the jungle on the bottom side. They really want this dragon here. Levitate wants to clear out those wards. Can't quite do that as CCG regroups, and they are going to be the ones to rip the dragon.
Dragon gonna get taken here for CCG, and that at least gives them some kind of a win con, but they have had go well is that bottom side. The Aphelios looks pretty strong at the moment, especially in comparison to the Callista. The lanes we kind of said, like, oh, they have to get ahead early, did not get ahead early. And it feels like both teams kind of paying the price for that, although Crimson feeling that a lot more there. 2 levels down against Hoarder is a problem.
Yeah, and Hoarder's gotten 2 plates. I mean, even in the mid lane, Sudsy's got 4 plates. Like, this is going heavily in the direction of Team Fish Taco. Mind you, they have 5 Void Grubs as well. Take a look at that goal difference. Take a look at this fight in the bottom lane, trying to bail out your Aphelios, but you can't. Crimson goes in on the top side. He dies, and now Levitate's got some room to operate. Limo getting pretty low, but they're not able to take down Vacant. And Trevor, but the hook pulls him in, and they do take down Vacant. And now all eyes are on Trevor, who's forced to flash away. Team Fish Taco starting to pull away at the 14-minute mark.
Yeah, and I don't know why Vacant's walking back up there for that fight. You don't have a damage dealer. All that you have is Renata backing up a Sejuani. There's not a lot you can get done there. I think a little bit over aggression on that side and just kind of pays the price for it. Things looking really tough here for CCG. Yes, kills. It's only 3 kill advantage, but you look at the gold advantage and it is 4,000 plus in favor of Team Fish Taco, and they're only going to be able to crack it open more in the next couple of minutes here because there is a Rift Herald they can grab and start to really open up this map.
Yeah, it is bad news for the side of CCG. They need to find a way to stop the bleeding, but you're essentially playing 5v4 at this point, right? Crimson is that far behind Thousand Eyes, like 66 CS, 1 and 3. Congratulations, you just finished your Eclipse. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're down 2,800 gold. It's massive. And that is not the first game that Crimson wanted to start off on, right? Because that is one of Crimson's signature champions. And to get dismantled this badly will certainly put a bad taste in CCG's mouth moving forward if they're unable to right the ship.
Definitely. And
oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay. All right, well, that's kind of what we were saying. What do you do there if you're Crimson?
Die, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Border has no summoners at least, and has a really big shutdown if CCG want to try to make a play on it. But Rift Herald going to go the way of Team Fish Taco, and they're going to try to present some pressure on the bottom side. Vacant is here. This turret is low. There's an opportunity for a dive. The handshake in. Vacant just clearing out the ward, though, has said, we are not going to fight. Limo was lurking. So CCG got a turret, but it's small. It's a start, but it's small.
But it's a smart play as well, because like you said, if they go aggressive on that, they get caught by the Nocturne. And I think that whoever made that call, I'm assuming Vacant. Snow is a little forward.
Snow just got melted. Limo turns out the lights, but you can't really see anybody. They're all staying out of vision. He's going to at least walk up and clear out the pink ward, but here's Team Fish Taco. They drop the Rift Herald down on the bot lane. Flocon is on the backside here, so Taco wants to rip it. They can, but that turret will stay alive. They did not get any of Twitch chat, as I heard them called the little Twitch chat dudes. They're Ed and Eddie when you kill the Void Grubs, but the little Void Mites are Twitch chat when they come out of when they come out of Rift Heralds.
I need an add-on that's gonna add chat messages to the mites when they jump out, because that would be absolutely
Kappa.
Yeah. You're really good. Yeah, and I mean, so the thing with this too is, like, I don't want to count CCG out. I know we've said a lot about how Team Fish Taco are in a really strong power position. The Aphelios is starting to get online. The fact that we just saw Snow die, like, it's very clear that there are some mistakes still being made by Team Fish Taco. I don't think this game is out of reach in any way, shape, or form, but it feels like it's Team Fish Taco's turn to drive the truck, and CCG have to find a way to get back into the driver's seat in order to really start doing things this game.
Yeah, CCG, if you're comparing this to like a boxing fight, they're teetering, right? They're on wobbly legs right now. One more fight that goes the way of Team Fish Taco could put this one out of reach, but you're right. Red is on an item and a half, has 3 kills. Like, there's things to be excited about. The only problem is they can just get to him so easily. I'm not sure if CCG has the feel. It's a 5v5 jockeying for position in the mid lane. These teams are ready to go, Thousand Eyes. But it looks like Team Fish Taco will just decide to ping onto the bear, the bear and the dragon. They've got full control of this mid wave here, and it's all theirs.
Yeah, I think they're a little less ready to go than you're thinking.
They were. They were.
They're ready to go over to dragon and take that away. Which that is a good choice, though, at the same time, because it stops the dragon stacking for CCG. They're not really setting themselves up for a soul early on, and CCG just unfortunately on the wrong side of the map for that. Got to cover Crimson to make sure that he can get at least the wave in there, but the fact that tower is still at full health just exemplifies the problem CCG really need to find an answer for.
The good news for CCG, it does mean that they still have standing gold on the map to try and get a little bit back in their pockets, down 5,000 gold. It has only gotten worse, Thousand Eyes. You know, it was 4, and then it was 4.5. Now it's 5. I mean, they're not even fighting, right? It's not even fight wins for the side of Team Fish Taco at this point. They're just farming a little bit better. Sudsy is 0-2, but has a bunch of gold on him as well. And, you know, with the team fight prowess that they have, I mean, look, he's up 900 gold, right? He's up 17 CS. He's down a kill and an assist, but it was those plates that are doing so much of the heavy lifting.
Definitely. I mean, you look at Orianna being 0-2-0, and it's like this Orianna's weak right now. Actually, you're just not counting the gold the right way. Baron gonna spawn here, and now the question really does become, can CCG stop the bleeding? Because the bleeding becomes a major problem at this point. If they lose 2 members, Baron will be on the table for Team Fish Taco, and that just really breaks open this game in a way that I don't know if CCG can recover from. So CCG, they have to stick together. They have to avoid these big mistakes they've made. They have to figure out what they can do. Bacon getting a little caught.
He should be okay. Limo is going to put some good damage down on him, but he'll be able to walk away. And yeah, you know, this was a game that CCG needed to get off on the right foot. We mentioned it earlier, but, you know, in the last best of 3 series that these two teams played, there was one really close game, and then 2 games like this where Team Fish Taco won fairly convincingly. I wouldn't say this is an absolute blowout or anything like that, but this is a convincing Team Fish Taco game where things are going very well for them. So CCG, they need to find a way to at least steal 1 game. Trevor forced a flash away from good positioning from Snow, and a lack of vision there means that's 1 juicy target.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have to walk up here, and when you're running something like Renata, you kind of need somebody else to walk up there. You're seeing the Celestial pick up on the support item there, and that's specifically because of those kinds of things, just avoiding getting hit by the Nocturne or the burst from a Rumble ultimate or a hook from Snow. Things get really, really iffy there, and Renata needs to be able to stay alive, and trying to check for these Baron bushes here is just so scary, especially when, you know, if you don't have Bacon with you, suddenly Trevor's just off in the middle of nowhere and has to cross fingers and hope.
Yeah, especially with that flash down. You can see CCG doing what they can to try to secure any semblance of vision in their own jungle, but Snow able to walk up and they do clear out the ward, but they're going to try to pull the trigger onto Snow. They're going to turn the lights out here, Fate's Call, and all of a sudden Flocon is trapped. He's got to dash away. So no kills going down here, but a couple of valued ultimates gone.
Yeah, the Nocturne ult being down now really puts Limo on the back foot. Granted, the rest of Team Fish Taco are strong enough. It shouldn't be that big a deal, but it does stop the go button for Team Fish Taco. And Trevor still has that ultimate as well in the Renata, so even if the Paranoia comes back up, Limo is going to just dive right in to a Renata ultimate as well. So there's options for CCG, and I love seeing them be able to play defensively here, slowly, surely pushing themselves up and chipping away at these towers. I don't think they can fully get this, though.
Yeah, this could be trouble. Getting flanked by Limo and Sudsy, and that is a great shockwave there. Bacon has to flash. Trevor's gonna go down. The teleport, but Flocon gets pulled immediately. The red carpet on top of red. He's got a flash over the wall.
Crimson?
And Crimson with a big flank. They're able to shut down the Orianna. Flocon's got to try to run away, but Levitate will be able to take him out. It's a 3-for-1 so far, but Crimson gets caught. Crimson trying to trade back, and he does. Manages to make that small engagement a 1-for-1. Red will be able to thank his lucky stars that he is still alive, but Pings going down on the Baron because Limo is making a beeline. They will adjust, though, and head to the Dragon.
Yeah, a little risky to take the Baron here. They don't have a tank to really frontline for that, and the respawns are coming through because that fight took so long. But it started out a little bit over aggressive there, CCG trying to get damage onto a tower they really didn't have the time to do so with. And they do get punished for it, but a really good turnaround. The fact that Red able to stay alive for that long, and Crimson coming in at just the perfect time, getting 2 extra kills in that fight, stalls things out and makes it so that even though CCG lose, they lose in a very minor way that makes the Baron impossible. Regardless of the fact that it is a Dragon pickup, it is not the thing that I think Team Fish Taco want to get.
Yeah, but the worst part is here, Thousand Eyes, is that the gold lead has actually just gotten a little bit bigger. It's at 6,000 now, right? So even in the small victories, CCG are still falling further and further behind, right? I mean, this bot lane, sure, it's in their favor, but that's the only thing that's in their favor is, you know, if Porter managed to get a better ultimate off or anything like that, this could be a whole lot worse. Trevor forced it to use the hostile takeover to keep himself alive, so that is a big team fight ultimate down. You can see Team Fish Taco, they recognize it. They are going to pull the trigger here. CCG looking to group up a little bit. Hoarder does have the equalizer up if he is ready to rip it. Crimson trying to get into the area. CCG firmly looking for an engage here. They are going to engage onto that Rumble. The lights are getting turned out and the flash forced out. But look, Aphelios is just fine right now. It's a 2-for-0 right now for CCG. Sudsy has to flash away. Snow 2 is the next target. Fate's Call going to pull him in. And now CCG, they're going to be the ones to start up on this Baron. Trevor is very low, very much in danger of dying. Sudsy low on mana. It's going to be the Levitate and Snow 2 show. He lands the hook. He's trying to get onto Trevor, but they turn on to Levitate. Levitate gets caught, and CCG shut him down. Sudsy the next target. He's got no mana left. Red and white, and red is the victor. It's a clean ace for CCG, and the Baron is theirs. Thousand Eyes, the game is swung back in their favor.
This is such a turnaround for CCG. Really good pick onto Hoarder, forcing the stopwatch, the Seeker's Arm Guard early, which then causes the fight to go haywire from there. Hoarder's stuck in the middle of the enemy team, gets immediately blown up without even using that equalizer, and that is the biggest proponent of that team gone for the rest of that fight. And when you have Bacon then able to frontline there, give Red the space to space things out, and then have Crimson finally have a good full team fight where the Riven mattered. Everything worked exactly as CCG needed, and they get the win and they get the Baron to reset themselves. And while they're still down in gold, they're definitely feeling like they're in a power position for the next couple of minutes.
A huge sigh of relief for CCG fans, staff, and the team themselves. I thought this was trending toward game 2 or game 3 of what we've seen of these teams before, but no, Thousand Eyes, this is going to look like their first game that they played where it went so long and the teams went back and forth. Flocon feared, but in the Shroud means they'll be able to walk out. And now, what is CCG going to be able to do with the Baron buff? They've already taken out 1 turret. Their members are strong. They can capitalize at least a little bit more. This game will be firmly in their favor, but you do need to be worried. We talk about the Team Fish Taco team fight composition they have. It's so strong.
Yeah, I mean, the whole reason that fight went so badly for Team Fish Taco was because they didn't use those cooldowns. The fact that Hoarder went down without the without the equalizer, rather. The shockwave didn't really hit as hard as they needed
Crimson?
it to. And now Crimson's
dead. Crimson has been caught out. They even use the equalizer for him as well. It's a big shutdown going over to Hoarder. With Dragon in a minute, that could mean Team Fish Taco able to take firm control. They're going to take their resets. Meanwhile, on the top side, Flocon will finally take down that top outer turret.
Crimson does go down, but at the same time, CCG, they're able to get some pressure on the map, and while it may, if that is the cost that it takes to get a little bit of tower control and getting some extra gold from that, I think that's actually worth it. CCG, they have to be aware of the fact they do not have a 5th member, though, because they cannot take a fight, and that might be a problem in this next couple of minutes, because like you said, Dragon spawning in 20 seconds. Flocon, we need to get out of here fast.
Yeah, if Flocon dies here, this is really bad for CCG. He's feared, he's burning. He dashes over the wall, he hits the blast cone. Meanwhile, the mid lane, Sudsy, is under siege here, as is that mid inner turret. Shockwave goes down to Trevor, doesn't do a whole lot. Pole goes in, and now the lights are out. They're on top of Aphelios. Limo is chasing hard. Trevor goes down, but Limo's in no man's land. Vacant has to back off, and the rest of CCG looking to move forward. Red drops that ultimate, doesn't do a whole lot. Off to the side, Porter forced a flash, but a good flash and stunned by Crimson, and they will take out the Rumble, and it looks like CCG should be able to secure this dragon.
The skirmish factor of CCG is coming in clutch here. These fights start off so bad, but like we saw, Flocon get out of dodge for free, and then the fact that they go really hard, miss an engage, and still find a way to get out of that with the Nocturne ult coming, with the Nautilus there as well. Lots of pressure that is just not capitalized on, and that is now sole point for CCG at the end of the day.
One thing we didn't really talk about, Limo doesn't have a dive point, right? Unless it's a fight that they're taking that's a little bit more controlled, that they're engaging fully with Nautilus first, right? We saw Limo get on top of Red, but you know, no one to follow him up. So they're just like, all right, dude, you're certainly a spooky ghost, right? I'm so scared. They drive him off. They get a pick. It is everything that CCG wants right now. Team Fish Taco, they are no longer strong enough to take these fights on really strange terms. It has to be a near perfect engagement for them, a near perfect team fight where Hoarder and Sudsy are getting their ultimates off in order for them to turn this game back in their favor.
Yeah, I mean, Red kind of just hitting the right rotation into the Ghostbuster gun in that fight and taking Levo out. As now Team Fish Taco now looking for another engage, and desperation feels like it's starting to hit now. CCG, they're firmly in control right now of this game, and we're seeing next big objective going to be that Baron. Already one has gone over to CCG, and they did wondrous things with it, and I am sure they will look to do more. There is Porter caught, but now who's really caught?
Oh, good. Equalizer down. Look at the burn. Going on top of Flocon. He's got to try to walk this one out. And he does. A hook lands onto Trevor. He could be in trouble, but guess what? Everybody's angry and everybody else. Red's got red-white guns, and he's completely untouched.
Crimson's
and
coming.
That is a double kill for Flocon. And here comes Crimson on the flank, but won't be able to push it any further. This does mean bot inner turret for CCG. Tess, you said they were firmly in control, and they certainly are. They've got an iron grip on this game.
Yeah, and we saw right there the Celestial opposition being crucial there. The fact that it was the Renata caught but did not die, specifically thanks to that damage reduction there, and turning that around with the hostile takeover. It's such a massive ultimate, especially the later you get into the game. And CCG, they're going to get 2 inhibitors out of it, and they're going to back away. Baron will be up in 5 seconds, and Fish Taco maybe catching people.
Oh, Crimson will just be able to get out of there, but guess what? CCG, they're low on health bars. Sudsy is up in 2 seconds. Team Fish Taco, they're healthy. They could go onto the Baron if they want, and if they do, CCG has to respond quick.
Yeah, I don't think CCG can full reset here. They'll just lose the Baron, so they have to stagger this a bit.
Yeah, Team Fish Taco, they're going to rip the Baron right now. Limo is on. He's taking a little bit of damage. Teleport coming in from Flocon. He did get his full back. Crimson is still a little low, but still has his Maul of Malmortia's shield if necessary. Meanwhile, it's only Limo and Levitate on this Baron. Flocon has a way in. They're a little squishy, and yeah, you mentioned it. Sudsy had to reposition to try to get himself into a good spot. They're off the Baron now. Bacon is going on to Hoarder. Hoarder taking a lot of damage, but Flocon exhausted on the back line. He's in no man's land, but he takes out the Rumble, and now it's a 5v4. Limo's got to try to run away. Multiple members berserk as Crimson with a huge stun, but guess who is okay? Red is at half HP. He's flashing forward, looking to rip the team apart, and now it's Levitate versus the damn world. It's a 4-for-1 for CCG.
They stop the
Levitate's
base.
trying to back. They stop him. Red, can they bail him out? He's burning away, but he takes him down. But you mentioned it. The base is in shambles. Fakin is there. Flocon is there. Levitate's stuck in no man's land. The second Nexus turret has fallen. Levitate, is he going to get the back off in time? He's sprinting toward Flocon, but the minions are just too much in CCG. A come from behind victory in game 1.
Crazy victory there for CCG as they just fall behind, find exactly the right moment. One bad Baron call capitalized for them, and never did Team Fish Taco feel like they had control of the game again. It felt like their stats just did not match up past that point. They tried the same plays, they tried the same dives, did not work because they could not get the kills. And then from that point on, what do? Nocturne can't dive and kill somebody. The Callista can't get into fights. Doesn't feel like Team Fish Taco have an opportunity. A good turnaround from CCG.
They used expired fish on the tacos and their time ran out. But this should be an exciting series moving forward. We have at least one more game and hopefully 2. And go check out the YouTube video that'll probably be linked at the end of this video. And we'll see you for game 2.